What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, let's talk about SPS, and specifically the SPS price, which has now dipped below 2 cents, and obviously is not looking great, with the rest of the market also red, right? So it's not just SPS, even though we like to focus only on SPS here on this channel. Now, here's the thing. The proposal for a major exchange listing, primarily Binance, right? That proposal has now gone live. It's had a ton of different tweaks, a ton of different amendments to it, and it has now gone live. It is going to be a contentious one. I think it's sitting somewhere between like 66 and 65%, somewhere around that range right now. And of course, it's going to need 67 in order to make it. Here's the interesting thing, right? And I just want to lay this out and give my thought process on the kind of 10-cent amendment that was added to it, where we wouldn't really do anything until the token had reached 10 cents. Now, I'm not trying to call out, Soy Misterioso, who is anonymous. I'm not trying to call them out and say like, hey, I don't know why you picked the number that you did. Maybe there's a good reason for it. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's just arbitrary. But I just want to focus in on that because as of now, if that proposal passes, it will only trigger if we hit 10 cents. And the question that I'm asking myself, and now that I'm asking you through this video, is can we even do that without a major exchange listing? And the thing that I'm looking at primarily is the last 6 months to 1 year, right? Or actually really just the last 6 months. Now you can see I have the 1 year kind of focus here on the SPS price chart. And, starting from last year, we were actually quite high. We hit almost 3 cents during that Vrooz promo where everybody needed to stake some SPS. But then, of course, everything just went down. Then, of course, we went back up to we went from like 1.5 to 2.5 cents. This was the staking requirement that was put in for SPS in July. So you can see that was pretty nice. But then, of course, the massive sell-off continued to happen even into Q4 when Bitcoin started to pump. But in that time frame, over the last 6 months, we have seen 2 major releases. The launch of Land 1.5, which soaked up almost 1.5 billion DEC. Actually, probably even more than that if you consider how much was burned for cores or other things that were needed there. You also had a major core set release with Rebellion, which sold, pretty much sold out the what's that called? Pre-sale, 500,000 packs, and we've sold maybe 300,000 plus since. So we've seen some major DEC usage. We saw the flywheel get into action, and it was a glorious thing. But we pumped from 1.3 cents up to 3.7. I mean, it's a 3x, but more importantly, I'm not focused on the multiplier. I'm more focused on the fact that we only hit 3.7 cents with 2 major releases. So here's the thing. Since that time, obviously, we have gone down, and keep in mind, for most of Q1, we've seen Bitcoin and Ethereum go up, right? So actually, let's see, can we even overlay it here? That would be awesome. Okay, so which one is SPS? I don't even know. Oh, Bitcoin, you know what? This is not going to be great. So, because I don't know how to read this chart appropriately. All I can tell you is that Bitcoin has gone up from, mid 40s all the way up to the 70s. Of course, it's kind of correcting back now, which is where you're seeing this. But during that time frame, right, in January through mid-March, we went from the 40s to the 70s, and SPS continued to go down, 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 down. Now, we did see a rise, and I think this is probably due to a lot of the alts starting to pump. So it is good to see maybe a little bit of correlation there, because I don't think that this was related to anything. And I know I just made a video saying that we're completely decoupled, but at the end of the day, I think when people started to see some of the other altcoins moving, maybe they were buying in. But let me just get back to the main point here. If that proposal is only going to trigger once we hit 10 cents, my question for you is what's going to get us there? I mean, we had 2 major releases, a core set and Land 1.5, and that got us to 3.7 cents, not even 4 cents. So I'm looking ahead here, and it's just like, obviously there is a time crunch. We want to be able to get a major exchange listing at some point, I would assume within this year, right? So let's just look at this and say, okay, March is already done. Q1 is done. So we have like 9 months-ish to figure it out. And I'm actually not too worried about this. I know it sounds like I might be alarmed, but I'm really just trying to think of this very objectively as a thought exercise here. Mainly because I do believe that the bull run will hopefully extend into 2025, meaning if we're able to get it done by the end of 2024 or even early 2025, we might still be okay. Will we miss a lot of the run up? Absolutely, but you never know. Things could really pop off. Fireworks go absolutely crazy at the end of the bull run. So again, I'm not too worried about it. What I am concerned about is what's going to get us there. And I know I keep coming back to that, and I'm looking ahead over the next 9 months, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, Soul Keep, that's a big unknown, but we don't know how much that's going to actually attract people into the game, as well as eat up a lot of tokens, DEC primarily, which would push SPS for SPS burning, and maybe push some SPS direct utility if they have that staking requirement still in there, right? And we're going to see there's going to be a downhaul that they're going to be a part of soon. So that could be one. Land 2.0 or elements of Land 2.0, I do believe are going to come out at some point within this year. Again, if you give it a 9-month time frame. And then, of course, the new player experience and the team wanting to do some marketing. So you get a lot of other players or brand new players who don't have any assets, mainly SPS, right, that want to come in, start earning at the higher levels, and come in and stake SPS. Is that possible? Is it doable? I mean, obviously, yes. I mean, I believe that it is. I'm just looking at this very critically and thinking to myself, we had 2 major releases, right? 2 major releases, and it didn't push. Then that probably just goes to show that the player base is not anywhere near the place that it needs to be in order to support a 10-cent SPS. So once again, we're coming back to, and this is the team's primary goal, to be fair. We're coming back to the fact that we just need new players. We need more people soaking up all of the SPS that is coming out. And, I'll make a separate video on this, but a lot of the liquidity pool or LP adjustments have been approved or in the process of the full proposal right now that could start to reduce some of the emissions. But again, that's just a small piece of what is being emitted right now and distributed for SPS. Obviously, we don't want to take that away from the ranked battles because that's going to be the main driver of people coming in. But, other things, and even though I own a lot of, what is that called? Node licenses, even though I own those, I just don't see why we've been minting SPS for it. People have had nothing to do, they're not providing any value. I'm not providing any value to the ecosystem, yet I've been given a ton of SPS for it every single day for the past almost 2 years. So those areas are starting to close. I don't think that's going to be enough. At the end of the day, it's got to be new players. And the cool thing, all right, I'll end this on a positive note. The cool thing is that both the team as well as Double Coconut will be working towards that. So we've almost doubled our efforts, if you think about it, because the team is obviously going to be focusing on getting some marketing done. They're finishing the new player experience and then wanting to get this game in front of as many eyeballs as possible. Double Coconut is doing the same thing. And they're going to be, they have their own kind of mission. They have their own platform and things that they're going to be trying to do, and their own resources. And I talked about this in a previous video, but the fact is they seem very connected, right? They're getting all the press for even just minor announcements like the sale of Soul Keep to Double Coconut and like interviews for what they have planned. So my hope is that it's it's a cool genre. It can bring in a lot of people, and it kind of doubles the effort of what Splinterlands, the team, is trying to do in terms of bringing people into the ecosystem. So I'm still quite bullish on this. I know that this is not a fantastic time, but I do think a lot of the pieces are starting to move into place. And yes, time is of the essence. Time is going to be a factor because if Soul Keep gets delayed, if the team runs into issues, if all these things happen, yeah, I mean, we could miss a little bit of a run up. I don't know, right? I don't know how long and how hard this bull run's going to go. I don't know if, I honestly, nobody knows what's going to happen over the next, this is an election year in the US. Who knows what kind of craziness can absolutely happen. But I will say this, I do think that we have a little bit longer of a leash here, that we can be okay if we can, we can't allow ourselves to try to get to 10 cents on our own before the end of the year through these other elements. And that's why, even if it happens early next year, I think we'll be okay. Granted, I don't know. This bull run could, just go super strong and short as opposed to last time where we had a little bit more of a double top. I have no idea. But the fact that we've hit the bull run, we've hit an all-time high for Bitcoin already pre-halving, kind of makes me feel like that. And so therefore that whole time is of the essence thing has really started to kick in, because a lot of people are thinking once the election's done, once we get to 2025, maybe there is no extended part of the bull run. So, time is of the essence here, and we'll see how much the team can get done, how much SolKeep can get done, or Double Coconut can get done. But in terms of like seeing anything else that can come in terms of like major releases, or even like this burn event for the promo card, I mean, none of that really compares to Rebellion and Land 1.5. And so I'm just hoping that we get to see some of these other elements really come into the mix here and deliver, or actually over deliver, many people's expectations. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.